what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be me editing a few photos from a recent trip to a Cars and Coffee event. And if you're like me, there's nothing quite like waking up at an ungodly hour of the morning, grabbing a nice warm cup of coffee and heading down to an event where all you're probably gonna hear is a bunch of people wondering which M3 of theirs is the best generation. Needless to say, they're all really good, but at least we got some other cool cars there that we can photograph. So come with me. I'm going to do some editing. You can watch me how I edit my photos and videos. The event's awesome. It's really well put on. There's vendors, there's coffee trucks, beautiful cars. Everybody there is super nice. And I'll tag them in the description below. But if you are in the Inland Empire, Riverside, Temecula, Murrieta area, you've got to check this place out. Their Instagram is Local Car Scene. Like I said, I'll tag it in the description. I'll probably put a little post up here too. But they're really great, good music, good vibes, all around a really nice event. So let's go ahead and get started in the editing process. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's get started on some of these edits. We'll sit here probably for an ungodly amount of time doing the most minimal tweaks possible to these photos that honestly you probably won't even notice. All right, so we're opening up Lightroom. I'm gonna go ahead and import my photos. Typically, I like to edit off of my hard drive itself rather than the computer. So the camera that I'm using right now is the Sony A7CR. So it does have that massive 61 megapixel sensor. So every time I do take a photo, especially like cars and things that I want to get some fine details with, I tend to shoot in that 61 megapixel format. The file sizes are huge. I believe I took roughly 238 photos today. Out of the 238, I'm guaranteeing not a ton of them are going to be that good to edit, but the file size was roughly 17 gigs. So it does take up a significant amount of space. Editing off of my Samsung T5 SSD. It's a 2 terabyte version. I've been loving them so far. I've had no issues, so that's what I kind of go with. Right now, I have all the photos in a RAW folder within the SSD. So I'm just going to import all of them and quickly go through and mark the ones that I want to flag for keeping and the ones that I want to flag to reject. So let's go ahead and let this get rolling and see what we can find. So I'm going to open up right off the start. Awful. We're going to let that one go. Some of these ones aren't too bad. I think I'd rather pick some of them than not, just to get a better idea. Get some people out.
Three weeks later.
Just like that, flew through and got the reject and the flagging to keep ones. So I'm going to command and delete 59 rejected. That isn't a lot. So we have 179 photos. I will say I probably won't go through every single one of them. I'm going to try to pick out a few of them right now that we can edit here, maybe like top 5 or just 5 that I want to edit for you and just kind of show you how I will either just build it on my own. We can create presets together, or I'll just use the existing one and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to start with this Supra one. The Supra, like I said, sick car. This one had some blue wheels. So let's edit a few of these ones real quick if we can. I'm going to go ahead and start and see if the 2 presets that I've created over the last couple months work with this. Typically, that's aggressive. Didn't really change much. I don't know. I think I'm probably just going to do my own edit on this one. So first off, I'm going to do a quick auto adjustment there. And then I do want to try and remove these people out of the side here. So let's see. Lightroom's been doing a pretty good job at erasing this. Let's remove. Boom, look at that. It's unbelievable what they can do now, right? Like, that's pretty clean. Added branches and stuff. I mean, I like it. So that's where I feel like AI might be useful with a lot of this stuff. Everybody's got their own opinion about it, but we'll go ahead and drop some highlights. I want to pick this up a little. Let's go ahead and do a mask, subject mask. Let's lighten the car itself up. Drop that. I don't want to do too much there. And then we're going to create a new one and do a linear gradient. I don't know why I said that so weird. I'm going to drop the exposure just a bit. That car kind of bugs me, but not much I can do. I don't think, you know what, let's give it a try, right? Let's see what it does. So it's not going to do a good job, I don't think. Okay, so I'm gonna hold Option and delete some of the mask here because I do not want it to reference anything on this part of the car. All right, that looks good. Let's see what it does. Remove, fingers crossed. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. That honestly looks really good. I'm gonna give a clap for Lightroom. That was, wow. Wow. All right, cool. So that helps a lot. Geez, I'm kind of in shock on that. Wow. Okay. So we've already done a little bit. I'm gonna drop a little bit of clarity, kind of give this image a little bit more of like a glow feel, add a little bit of texture. Vibrance, I'll go up. Saturation, I want to come down just a bit. And then do a little bit of tone curve adjustment. Very minimal. Luminance wise now, let's see, what's this gonna pick? Kind of want to, let me go back to this. I need to create a new mask. I'm gonna select subject again. Let's get the car, and then I'm gonna invert this one so that I don't affect any of the car. And then let me drop saturation a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna try something else here and do a radial. Coming up from the corner, from where the light's coming. I'm gonna up that just a bit. I'm gonna crop this again because I don't like the way that it's cropped. I'm gonna do 16:9. And I'm gonna try to do even spacing between the back and the front if I can get as close as possible. Not bad. So like this is what I'm talking about. Look at the detail with this camera sensor. It's crazy. I mean, I'm really liking this camera, to be honest. Tone curve wise, we're good. I'm gonna get rid of sharpening. Enable profile corrections. So I'm shooting on the A7CR, like I said. Today I was using the 16-35 f2.8 G Master, first one. I know that they've come out with a second one, but I don't really need it. Although SpongeBob would probably say different. So I kind of want to just keep it simple, right? That's not bad. I don't mind it. Little nice and glowy. So what I'm gonna try and do, I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna take this photo and then I'm gonna use that as a reference guide for the rest of these. And I'm just gonna sync these up. I'm not gonna, so here's where you can determine if this is what you wanna do. Sometimes I will add the masks in too, given the fact that it's not the same angle, it's not gonna be the same lighting. I'm probably just gonna leave the masking off, and then I'm gonna sync these ones. When they're done, I'm just gonna go back, right? And then here's the difference, right? Not much. And that's kind of what I want. Like, I don't want anything too crazy, but I think we're gonna have to mess with this one just a little bit more. Let's do a radial gradient. A radial gradient? A radial gradient. All right, so we got a radial gradient. I'm gonna go ahead and invert this again. Pull that out just a bit. And then I'm gonna drop the exposure, almost creating like my own little vignette. And then let's do another one, select subject and see what it can find. Not bad. I'm going to probably add, I'm gonna add a brush here so we don't lose out on that. And then remember to hold the Option, right, to erase. All right, so we're still in our mask. Let's see what we can do. Let's add a little bit of contrast, drop some highlights, just slight up on the shadows, up on the whites, a little bit down on the blacks. And then honestly, there's not much we can do about this one. Now, I do want to see what the AI does if I try to remove the easy up. Should do a pretty good job if it removed that truck before. Let's get it out of here. Easy. The Super one's really nice. Let's go to a different vehicle. This one was super cool. I don't even know what kind of car this is. If you happen to know what it is, put it in the comments. I didn't really see any like distinctive markings on it, but it was rad. It's a really cool car. Like, that's super cool. So let's edit this one if we can. Let's go ahead and do crop first. Little angle. Let's do 16 by 9. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those people out of the frame, but you can only do what you can do. Not bad. I'm going to subtract with a brush. I don't want any of that car or this one. Very minimal. And then I think what I'll do is try a radial gradient here right across the whole middle of the car and see if we can try to put a little bit more emphasis on the car itself and not the whole image, so that your eyes are drawn more to the actual car and not the people in the background. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to invert. I'm going to create my own vignette kind of. And let's see, drop some of this. Just drop everything around it, and then I'm gonna go back to the car, right, this mask, and I'm gonna up the exposure. Let's see, I don't want it to get too blown out. I might end up cropping in a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably gonna look a little bit better. Is it okay? Looks straight enough. What would it look like if I did that? Yeah, that's just too aggressive. I don't know if the tone curve is really gonna do any help. All right, so I'm gonna do that same thing. I'm just gonna apply this to all these photos for now, sync it. Oh, I forgot to get rid of sharpening, enable profile corrections. Sometimes I will do like that kind of vignette from here. And then let's sync those up again. Post crop vignette. Totally forgot about the crop. That is on me. So let's go as shot for this one. So I want to keep the shadows down. If you can see right here, you can get a lot of that car. So I think what I'll do, actually, let me try something here. I'm gonna grab a brush. I'm gonna brush over this section, and then I'm just gonna drop the exposure and basically like make it the black of the car. So let's see what it looks like here too. Not sure that one really worked. I gotta figure out how to get that. This one worked out pretty well. So let's get out of the brush real quick. Crop wise, I think we're probably good. I don't know. I'm a little torn on that, but drop that. Get a little bit of dehaze and texture. Don't mind me. Pretty sure that's me. Vibrance, we don't have much, but let's drop saturation. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna re-sync these ones so that we don't have that crop yet. And I'm going to try and place this into the center, third up here. And then I am going to have to raise that up because that is too low. Everything else looks okay. There's not much you can do with this one. Occasionally I'll end up going with like a hue, changing the sky a little bit to like a turquoise. I don't know, the blue sometimes looks a little bit unreal, but I was digging the wheels on some of these cars. Something about just like a side profile of the wheel can just hit. So let's crop this up this way. Let's see, maybe we can do that 2x3. Try to center it a little bit. We'll do a brush. And take all the saturation out because like that gold is coming from that lotus that was there. So I want to just make them what they were, which is just regular silver. So I'm going to take the saturation out of them completely and almost make it like a black and white. That one's pretty much done. Let's see this one. This guy was really cool. So crop wise, I don't want to do too much. Just want to almost even it out. A little bit of contrast. Simple and effective. That's what we're trying to do here. Let's see, let's sync this up real quick and check. Okay, so this is definitely going to need a bunch. So the BMW little like antenna is going to be our focal point, right? As we can tell, the way that it's set up. I'm going to do a subject mask. Not bad. Let's subtract all of that. And then we'll go ahead and raise the exposure a little bit here. And then I want to do, I don't think I'll do a, where are we going? Where are you? The vignette is already kind of there. I'll just leave that one. Like I said, it's too, if I try to go with a edit like this, that's just kind of extreme, right? I mean, go. I'm gonna go 16:9 on this one. Try to center. And I'm gonna probably do another mask on the side. And try and get this front end that's in the shade to match that sun side. Okay, that looks better. I'm gonna create another one, almost doing my own vignette again, so that we can cancel out. Remember to invert and then drop all of that. Let's go ahead and lower some of the saturation. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I'm liking that one. So before, after, oh, let's do this. Let's remove that leaf. I'm trying to remove this sign too. It's been doing a pretty good job. It's been doing a really good job. Jeez. Okay, so let's ask it to do the same with this one. That's pretty unreal. Let's go with this one. Let's edit this one now. So first thing, since I'm going to keep this crop the same, let's remove that. And then I'm going to add some clarity on this one. I'm going to up the vibrance a little bit. gonna go back to this mask actually. I'm gonna see what. Okay, I'm gonna do one more brush. Brush the headlight because it kind of went yellow when I was editing some of the color portions. So I'm gonna go here and then I'm just going to drop saturation out of that. Your typical S-curve type stuff, right? Make it a little bit more grungy looking. Get rid of that sharpening. Sometimes there's just like not much you can do unless you like go overboard. And like I said, some of these, it just goes overboard. I don't know if that teal is really the one. So sick. This one, I'll edit this one. The lighting's a little bit wonky, but see what we can do. Custom crop. I'm gonna raise that exposure and then I'm gonna do another subject mask. The subject masking has been the best, one of the best features that they've added in with the use of AI. I was never able to figure out how to do any of the masking, like the tools in Photoshop. So this is just making it so much easier and enjoyable to be able to edit photos. It also makes it much quicker. So I'm with that portion of AI for sure. The rest of it, where it just like creates an image on its own, I'm not gonna really use it. So lighten up that front. Let's do another brush, and then let's go here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So I'm gonna brush the front windshield because you can kind of see through some of it. And then I'm gonna drop the exposure to almost make it a little bit darker. And then I'm gonna have to go, I'm gonna have to go back in to this portion. Let's make that smaller. Hold our option. And just remove that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so before, after, simple. I feel like I need this mask just to have a little bit more oomph, you know? Okay, so that one's pretty good. Oh, the money pit one. This one was cool. All right, first thing, let's see if it can. I don't think it will. There's too much going on in this photo. Let's see if it'll take this guy out. If it figures out how to remove this and put doors on this truck, I'm gonna be in shock. Okay, wow, it works really, really well. So that one did a decent job. I mean, I feel like it's not noticeable enough, right? That's pretty good. Okay, so let's just do overall. Drop those. All right, let's add another brush into the darker spots of the photo. Let's raise the exposure and see. Okay, better. Better. More even. Crazy. It straight up added a door to a vehicle that it doesn't even. I'm gonna pull this in a little bit to match the distance from the wing on the other side. I mean, that looks pretty good. That looks clean. Let's do that. Create a mask. Let's select subject. Let's invert. And then let's do saturation now. Drop that a little. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, that's right. This one's the one with the NOS bottle. All right, well, I'm gonna stop there. I mean, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, put in the comments what kind of vehicle you drive. If you go to Cars and Coffee meets, if you're local to the area out here in Temecula or Murrieta area, it'd be pretty sick if you put it in the comments. Let me know if you're going to be at one of these things, and I'll take some photos of your car for you and send them your way, and just give you a couple photos. So I just like to get out here and have some fun. And yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my editing process. I flip back and forth between using presets and going overboard, or just going a little bit more natural. I'm leaning towards the more natural colors and just making it look a little crisp. So I hope you like the video. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.